Thanks for joining me back on the Community Review on Hot 92.3. I'm Josefa Salinas, your host. Welcome to Hispanic Heritage Month, our series Profiles in Life and Success. We've been kicking off strong for a couple weeks now. Kicking off the month of October, a couple of people who are real dear to my heart. This young lady that I'm going to talk with first is, I've known her for quite some time now. We met artistically through music. We met back in the 90s, and she has just emerged and become such an amazing force for positive things and positive things with youth. Her name is Cuba Swift from Cuba Swift Productions, and she does all kinds of dancing and choreography. People come to her from around the world for her choreography, and she dances our kids all the way to healthy, and we've got her in the house with us today, and also with us, Steve Ortega from Servanthood Construction, out there rebuilding and remodeling with a smile and God in his heart. So these are the two amazing Latinos we're going to be looking and talking to today. First, Cuba, let's start with you, hermana. How are you?
I am awesome. Thank you.
Wonderful to have you here again.
Thank you. Thank you for...
So let's talk a little bit about how we met musically back in the 90s. You were involved with music then.
Yes.
And kind of still have music in your life, but now you're dancing to it instead of singing.
Yeah, it's evolved into some amazing, awesome ideas that I'm now working on. But yeah, we met doing a compilation album with Coolio, and I was in a group called Midnight Suns at the time, and I was doing a little bit of rapping and singing, but I've always been a dancer. So, being of Cuban descent, loved to dance salsa all my life since I was a kid. So, I was doing the hip hop thing, but I was missing a part of, one of my elements, which was dance. So now it's evolved into, long story short, salsa hip hop, fitness and music and choreography. And so it's just getting bigger and bigger, and I'm just learning every day. It's awesome. But so eventually it'll turn into a musical, and I'm really excited about that. Like a kind of like a West Side Story type of thing where, we'll be able to tell a story. We'll have the salsa, the hip hop, the dancing, the acting, everything. So we're excited about that. But right now, what it's evolving into so far, besides the music element, is salsa hip hop fitness. And so that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years, is building this program where we teach all ages, all walks of life. And so it's just awesome to see, like, from your 5-year-olds to, we like to call them the young at heart, the older generation. And just to see people, first of all, lose weight, be healthy. It's a great stress reliever. And just to see people engage with salsa and hip hop, the elements of that, and just being able to have a good time, working out while they're dancing. So
very cool. Now, before we start talking about the DVDs, do you have a website?
Yes, it is CubaSwiftProductions.com. CubaSwiftProductions.com.
I'll make sure that link is right up on my page at hot923.com, keyword Josefa. Now you've got a series of DVDs that people can buy. Let's talk about these DVDs.
Yes. So we have 4 DVDs that can be purchased online. We have one for kids, one for teens, and then we have 2 for adults, a beginner and then intermediate, advanced. And so what I love about this product that we have is not only are you getting a workout, you're enjoying the music and whatnot, but you're learning how to dance. So, it's we have a little bit of choreography involved, but I've been teaching for over 20 years, and so I'm gifted in the area of teaching people how to dance, whether you have 2 left feet or you are,
right.
Professional. So with that experience, we've been able to do these 4 DVDs, and the main thing is that you're actually learning how to dance, and it is salsa, and it is a mixture of hip hop as well. So it's not watered down.
Right.
It's the real
definitely.
deal.
I know we've got the DVDs in my house, and it's kind of like, it has the Zumba feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. But it's the Cuba feel.
Yes. It's got its differences. Yeah, it does.
Well, it's a great workout, because I've worked out with 4-year-olds, and I've worked out with 30-year-olds, and I've worked out with 70-year-olds with the DVD.
Oh, wow.
And everybody it's so much fun to work out to these DVDs. And the great thing about it is maybe you can't afford to go take the Zumba classes.
Right.
You know, you get
right.
the DVD, buy the DVD, bring it home, have some friends over, and work out together in the living room.
Right, right. No, absolutely. And I was just talking to one of my friends. She actually has a DVD, and you know, she's a full-time mom and a full-time employee, and she's just like, you know what? I just pop in the DVD at least 3 times a week just to get moving. Her husband is a, you know, very well-known musician, and so she loves salsa music, so she's enjoying that element as well. And yeah, you know, nowadays we just have to try to make time, do what we can to work out. You know, some of us are really busy, but if we can incorporate, let me pop in a DVD, 30, 40 minutes, you know, at least we're staying active, and that's important.
Definitely. That's the key. So what made you decide to mix salsa and hip hop? Kind of an interesting mix there.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been in the fitness industry as well in the last 15, 20 years. And because of my background as a dancer, I initially ventured into hip hop professionally, you know, with salsa being my root. So I just had this idea, like, I don't know, I want to say about 7 years ago, maybe 10, I started actually incorporating hip hop moves in my salsa routines. And, you know, the percussions are very similar if you really think about it. I mean, the soul that the music has, you know, and so I just thought, man, it would be great to combine. And, you know, especially salsa being so, you know, it's been around for so long, as well as hip hop, you know, and hip hop is evolving into so many different things now, you know, that I figured, why not put the two genres together and you know, try to create like some type of fusion, you know, where, you know, and like I said, for all levels, you know, because I can teach some really, really, you know, intricate choreography, and then I can just simplify it to where people are still enjoying the music and stuff. And so, you know, and so that happened about, 7 years ago or so, and people are enjoying it. You know, it's different. It's different. It's kind of like with the Zumba thing. They got different elements, you know, but this, I wanted to hone in on salsa and hip hop.
Well, one thing I've told people for a long time, the universal thing that people love is music. No matter what, if you like turn off the lights so nobody can see each other and let them just listen to the music, people would find that they enjoy so much of the same types of things, no matter who they are.
Yeah.
And salsa types of music always make people happy. Everybody loves to try to salsa dance. Everybody loves to get up and just move around. It makes little kids get up. Everybody's happy. I don't care what kind of wedding you're at. You can be at a Jewish wedding. You can be at a Greek wedding. You can be at a Latino wedding. And the salsa song comes on. Everybody's up.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's up dancing, the little chain dance. We're all hanging on to each other, you know. It just makes people get up and dance. It's a universal sound.
Yes.
And it's the root sound of so many different types of music. And it just kind of brings people together. And to be able to dance and work out at the same time makes working out fun. Before you know it, you're through the DVD and you've done a whole hour worth of exercise. You're like, wow, I worked out and I had fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's a thing moms can do with their kids. Moms and dads can do together. You know, you get your girlfriends together and do it. I don't know if a bunch of guys would want to do it, but a bunch of girls together and do it for sure. Yeah. And stay in shape. Great way to get in shape and have fun.
Yes.
What are the DVDs called?
They are called Salsa Hip Hop Cuba Swift Style.
Salsa Hip Hop Cuba Swift Style, and you'll see a JPEG of one of the DVDs on my webpage at hot923.com, keyword Josefa, and you can go to CubaSwiftProductions.com to actually buy the DVDs, correct?
Yes.
So what else is coming up for you?
Wow, you know, I have to say that I am going to be getting back in the studio to continue the whole process of the Salsa Hip Hop album. Like I said, eventually it's going to be a musical. So it's been a journey because we're having to combine live salsa instrumentation with hip hop, but you know, it's live. So it's not like we can just go and create a beat in the studio. So that's been the journey, but I'm excited. I'm working with a wonderful talented musician by the name of Alberto Salas, who's just amazing and has worked with everybody. And so I'm so excited because he caught onto the vision of what we want to do. So that's next for me, and just continuing to teach my classes and promote. I'm teaching here locally in Whittier and Los Angeles. I teach at a club called Anatomy Fitness in Highland Park. If anyone is interested in coming and taking a class with me on Saturday mornings, I'm doing an 11 o'clock class there. So, you know, working on my program and working on my music. that'll be the next thing for me.
Very good. So if you want to keep up with Cuba Swift, it's real easy. CubaSwiftProductions.com. And of course, that link will be up on my webpage at hot923.com. Keyword Josefa and Cuba. Anytime you got anything to promote, hermana, you come back here, definitely. And we will try to get as many people excited about working out. What a great Christmas gift to give somebody, too.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a fun gift without letting them know that they're actually going to get healthy while they're doing it.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah.
Have fun, work out, dance your little behind off in the privacy of your own home in case you don't want to be at a studio. And, because a lot of people are a little shy. They don't want to go do the dancing moves out at a studio. So this way they can do all the dancing they want right at home.
Yes, this is true.
CubaSwiftProductions.com for all the information. Hermana, thank you so much for being in my life all these years.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Josefa, for the opportunities that you give so many people. Seriously, thank you.
It's what God put me here for. Speaking of God, let's move on over to Steve Ortega, the second person in our profiles in life and success. A Latino out there doing some construction. Servanthood Construction is the name of his company. Servanthood Construction and home repair, tile, paint, carpet, electrical, plumbing, nothing too small and more. Good morning, hermano.
Good morning. How are you?
I am highly favored. Thank you for asking. So, Steve, talk to me about, now, this is one of the businesses that I actually have to raise an eyebrow at because there are so many people out there ripping people off in this business. Let's talk a little bit about you, about the business, and then let's give the audience some tips on what to look for if they're thinking about hiring a company to come in and do some remodeling for them. First of all, a little bit about your background. Are you from L.A.?
Yes, I am from LA. I grew up in Los Angeles. I was in the military. I was in the Navy, so I've been around a little bit. Been here now for about the last 19 years back in LA. Yeah, it's been a journey for me. Doing construction work was something that I never really thought about doing. It was something that God had put in my heart to do. Actually, the first time I started doing it, it was working on one of Gladys's apartments when we first started dating. So that's when it all began.
Let's talk a little bit about you growing up. You grew up in L.A.?
Yes.
Tell me how you've seen L.A. change.
Wow, it's changed a lot. It's one of those kind of things where even like within the business itself, and I guess any kind of business, but having to deal with people being able to trust you. One of the issues I find with doing construction is the words you always find with people saying that they don't show up on time, they don't do the work right, so having to deal with stuff like that. So it's very important, the heart of a man, that you have a heart of integrity to do what you're supposed to do and do it right and in a timely manner.
Now, there's a report that came out recently showing the jobless rate for young people between the ages of 16 and 19, and for African American and Hispanic youth, the numbers were startling. Over 35% unemployed in that age group. How easy was it for you to find a job when you were 16 years old?
When I was 16 years old, well, I didn't have to work. I was blessed enough to have parents that, put me in school, took care of me, me and my brothers. So we didn't have to really.
What about when you graduated from high school?
When I got out of high school, I worked. It wasn't too bad.
So you did have a job?
I did have a job. I was a truck driver. I worked for Frazee Paint.
Okay, and did most of your friends have jobs?
Most of my friends had jobs. Some of them were illegal, but they had jobs.
Okay, so there we go. Right there. Now, 1 out of 2 don't have jobs in that age group. So things have changed.
Yes.
Life has changed. How have you seen as a community, the Hispanic community in LA changing over the years since, let's say, when you were a teenager?
It seems like it's changed where you don't have a whole lot of people supporting each other anymore like they used to. It was something where you had respect for elders and people would help you if you needed help. Now it's like everybody's for themselves. It's about them, get your own type deal. But it's been tough, with people with work, trying to find jobs. And again, it's how they're being brought up, because a lot of times these kids, they're not brought up learning what it is to be responsible. So when they do get a job, they don't know how to do their job correctly, and they're not getting fired or get caught for stealing or whatever the case is, So
the construction business, like you were saying, that it's a huge problem.
Right.
Massive problem. I have huge complaints with a lot of people that I've hired.
Right.
They come, they start it, they don't come back. They do half the job, say they'll be back, don't show up.
Right.
do the work and then leave everything a mess, or don't, you do the work and then something happens, they don't come back to fix it.
Right.
I mean, what is wrong with the construction industry?
Right.
Why are there so many companies like this? And it seems, I don't know, if it was me and I had those talents, I don't. That's why I have to hire people.
Right.
But if I had those talents, I would be so impeccable with my integrity that I would have a waiting list
Right.
of people to hire me, because that's all people are looking for, is somebody who's going to come, do what they say they're going to do a good job, and if they can't do it, let me know they can't.
Yes.
And suggest somebody who can,
Right.
and then be there until the job's completed, and then come back if something happens.
Right. And you hit it right on the head, and I had shared earlier about integrity. Integrity is so big because you're coming into a person's home that is a client, and they're trusting you with their home. And that's why one of the when I got my name, Servanthood, it was in my heart that I'm there to serve you as a client. I'm there to serve whatever it is that you need, but it's the integrity of a person's heart, because there's been many and many times I've come into people's homes and they're like, I had this person come over, like you just said, and do some work, and they didn't finish it, or they didn't do it right. You know what I mean? So now, they were having me come in and redo it again and fix it.
So they're not happy from the beginning because they already had somebody there once that didn't do it right. And it's just the general feeling in the community everywhere. I mean, I don't care, rich, poor, doesn't matter.
Right.
Everybody feels the same way about construction. They're like, oh, these guys do nothing but rip you off.
Right.
So to have somebody, and I can speak for your work, and I know that it's good, and I know you're a man of integrity. So that's why it was such a pleasure for me to be able to highlight your company and the work that you do.
Yes. Because
it is good.
Yes.
And I believe that if you did something or didn't know how to do something, you just say to the person, you know what, this is beyond what I know how to do, but let me help you find somebody that I know is going to be good. Or if you did it and the tiles started lifting up and and they weren't, you'd be back there trying to fix it.
Right.
And that's all people are looking for, is a company and someone who's going to stand by their integrity. So it's really a pleasure of mine to be able to profile Servanthood Construction. And I know that ServanthhoodConstruction.com is a website that's currently being built. If you go there, you'll see their coming soon page. And you've got a website that'll be coming where people can see the different types of work that you have. And you'll definitely see my testimonial there, giving you my 411 and my hands up on this particular company. Definitely somebody good to hire. Steve, how many people do you get to employ? Is it like per job? If it's a big job, you get to go hire some other people to come on and work with you?
Yeah, it depends on the size of the job. There's some jobs I get that are nice sized jobs where I can do it myself. And then depending on how busy we are with Cuba Swift Productions, it's if I have other things going on, I can hire other people to come in and be a blessing to give them something to do.
Right.
Sometimes I'll get a job that's so big that I gotta bring other people in to do certain parts of the job.
Right.
Like you said, I don't do everything, and if I can't do something, I'll just tell you I don't do this, but I know somebody that does, and I'll get them to come do it. And at the same time, they're still accountable to me. So if it's not done right, they still got to deal with me. Right. So I don't put it on somebody else and say, well, he did it, it's his fault. No, it doesn't work like that with me. We make sure it comes back to me, and I'm complete, and I'm happy with the job before I leave.
Well, two amazing profiles in life and success. Servanthood Construction owner Steve Ortega, my pleasure to be able to profile you and your company, doing tile, paint, carpet, electrical, plumbing. Nothing's too small, and more. Please support this man and his company, Steve Ortega. ServanthhoodConstruction.com will be up and running here very soon. You'll be able to go to that website and learn all about Steve and the things that he does. And it's wonderful to just be able to profile a Latino with such integrity, doing a great job, employing other people, and doing wonderful things. And Cuba Swift Productions, congratulations to both of you for being amazing profiles in life and success.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't go away. One of the most beautiful children's stories I have ever read is coming up next on the Community Review, Hot 92.3. You're not going to want to miss it.